Lascaux. It's funny. You could always see the church tower from here. Something's different. Oh. Maybe it's my memory.
Mesdames et messieurs, notre maire, Monsieur Xavier Lorion. Monsieur le maire.
Bien des souvenirs remontent à notre mémoire.
The castle is the same. That is new.
Mes amis, nous avons beaucoup souffert dans le passé. Nous avons heureusement pu construire un avenir pour nos enfants dont nous pouvons être légitimement fiers. Je suis toujours considéré comme un citoyen.
Bonjour, je peux vous aider?
Is this the town church?
Comment?
Vous parlez anglais?
L'Italie.
There is another church in Lascaux, une autre église.
Ah oui, autrefois, elle était là-bas.
Oh, merci. journey.
Why did you ask my father if he had a special reason to come here?
I don't know. It seemed a pretty natural question to ask a German.
Why? The war's been over a long time.
Yeah, but this is Lascaux.
So?
You don't know what happened here?
No.
Oh, Christ.
A day or so later, they rounded up everybody in Lascaux, brought the men here, and shot them. That's not all. The memorials were Lorient's idea. The mayor. He was away fighting with the resistance when it happened. And after the war ended, he pushed his scheme through with the local authorities. Made his name. At 20, he was famous.
My father never mentioned a word about this. Ever.
Maybe he wasn't here.
You didn't know. Why don't you run along?
No.
It's none of his business.
Where were the men killed?
He didn't know.
He knew something.
Christ, look at him. He didn't know.
Anything else I should see? There's a museum.
And they turned the church into a monstrous pyre. Oh, believe me, after all these years, I still remember. I was 19 and in the resistance, like my old friend, Xavier Lorient, who is now mayor of Lascaux. Yes, and I lost all my family. Here we are all together in that picture, the Villeneuve family. And that is why, after the war, we built this memorial to the innocent victim of that atrocity. And that is why I devoted my life caring for it. None of us must ever forget.
A letter half completed by an unknown German soldier, written to a German woman named Eva, found in June 1944 at the Café Prion.
What does the letter say?
It says, the letter...
The letter is very difficult to write, since the writer must ask his sweetheart to forgive him because he cannot marry her when he comes home. It says that he has met someone here, and he intends to desert the army and run away with her. They are deeply in love.
Eva was mother. You wrote it?
And that cigarette case.
Anhalten! Ja, was machen Sie denn, Mensch?
Ich habe Freiheit.
Reden Sie nicht lange rum, lassen Sie das Fahrrad liegen und steigen Sie hinten ein. Zack, schneller, Mensch!
Jawohl.
Weiterfahren!
Hier ist ein Helmernst.
Alle Einwohner dieser Stadt sollen sich um Punkt 2 Uhr hier versammeln. Alle Männer, alle Frauen, alle Kinder, ohne Ausnahme. Seien Sie bitte höflich und korrekt zu ihnen und vergewissern Sie ihnen, dass kein Grund zur Aufregung besteht.
Zu Befehl, Hauptmann. 4 da, 4 dort, 6 da drüben hin.
Là, un petit peu plus. Voilà, c'est ça. Oui. Voilà.
Meine Damen, kommen Sie bitte mit. Raus, bitte.
Enfin, qu'est-ce que vous me voulez? Ah non, alors, moi je porte plainte à la...
Marktplatz!
Kommen Sie mit mir, bitte mit allen Kindern. Machen Sie schnell, los, los.
Pourquoi?
C'est un ordre militaire. Machen Sie schnell, bitte. Vite.
Les enfants, en rang.
Los, los, machen Sie schnell. Bitte, Monsieur, vite. Los, heraus. Schnell, vite, vite. Monsieur.
Côté de la place et vous répondez quand on appelle votre nom.
Alors, Jean-Luc. Andrieux, André.
Oui.
Au petit Guy.
Oui.
Brocard, Jean-Marc.
Oui.
Brocard, Sorel.
Présent.
Brocard, Annabelle. Brocard, Sébastien.
Oui.
Brocard, Brigitte.
Oui.
Babule, Marcel.
Oui.
Barbato, Michel.
Oui.
Carl, Richard.
Oui.
Le Serrier, Raymond.
Oui.
Chaput, Marguerite.
Oui.
Delavaux, Agnès.
Oui.
Durand, Robert.
Oui.
Desnois, Georges.
Oui.
Jo, Michel.
Oui.
Eram, Denis.
Oui.
Éloise, Denis.
Oui.
Fougère, Franck.
Oui.
Fauché, Étienne. Fauché, Étienne.
Présent.
Ferrès, Marie-Paul.
Oui.
Garot, Paulette.
Oui.
Gaudy, Jean-Louis.
Présent.
Gamelou, René.
Oui.
Lorion, Gustave.
Oui.
Lorion, Marie.
Oui.
Lorion, Xavier. Lorion, Xavier. Perrato, René.
Oui.
Priot, Eugène.
Oui.
Paulet, Hélène.
Oui.
Prado, Léonard.
Oui.
Villeneuve, Georges.
Oui.
Villeneuve, Édouard. Villeneuve, Édouard. Villeneuve, Bernadette.
Oui.
Vosnière, Simon.
Oui.
Vosnière, Agnès.
Oui.
Schicken Sie alle Männer auf den LKW.
Jawohl, Herr Hauptmann. Alle Männer rausholen! Los!
Raus, stehen bleiben, die Männer hier!
Alle Männer hier rüber, los! Schnell, schnell!
Komm, Opa!
Ist okay!
Alle Leute mit den Frauen! Da stehen bleiben nur die Männer, nur die Männer!
Laden Sie die Männer in den LKW! Los, aber schnell! Zack, zack!
Was sollen wir mit den Frauen tun?
Schutzmann, bringen Sie mir den Pfarrer her! Schnell!
Geben Sie mir die Schlüssel der Kirche! Les clés de l'église. Da, nehmen Sie die Schlüssel. Hauen Sie den Mann in den LKW. Schneller. Zack, zack, mit!
Abtreten!
Bringen Sie die Leute in die Kirche. Zack. Schneller. Weg runter. Raus in die Kirche. Komm.
Tout va bien.
How old were you when you joined the resistance?
Oh, just 18. At first, they were reluctant to allow me in because I had a weak poitrine.
Chest?
Yes. So I persevered until the local Marquis relented.
And did you do anything spectacular? On a train or...
Oh, no, not really. I was a courier. You know, I carried messages, and I saw very little action.
Would you tell me about them?
Yes. Well, I helped to ambush a German ammunition lorry. I met Allied airmen when they landed. And, oh, yes, once there was a skirmish, I think you say in English, with some soldiers on a night patrol. They ran into us when we were looking for food.
But surely the people of Lascaux in particular have a strong reason to hate the Germans. Won't they find it difficult to accept your proposals?
80% of Lascaux was born after the war, Mr. Root. To them, the massacre is history. They deplore it, naturally, but it does not affect their daily lives the way they think now.
If you were to meet someone who had served in Lascaux during the war, a soldier, would you find it hard to talk to him?
No, why should I?
You lost an uncle and an aunt in the massacre.
Yes, and a mother and a sister. A German today would have been a young recruit. Then, not much older than I was in the resistance. Those who committed such terrible deeds are mostly long since dead now, Mr. Root, and I have no quarrel with my German contemporaries. Good evening, Mr. Root.
Sir, this is Ernst Kessner, Xavier Lorient, the mayor of Lascaux.
How do you do, Herr Kessner? Pleasure to meet you.
This is my wife, Marie-Louise.
How do you do, Herr Kessner?
And some friends from the town.
Monsieur Hutin, nice to see you again.
Well, I expect the town is having its usual nice time.
Mr. Kessner asked if he could see you, sir.
A coincidence. I had asked to see you, didn't I, Mr. Root?
I would like to make a statement, please.
Very well. Oh, well, we can speak in private.
No, please. I would like to speak it here.
I see. Well, I am listening.
On June the 9th, 1944, I was one of a company of soldiers serving in the German army here in Lascaux. I was ordered to help round up the citizens of this town. We brought them into the square. The men were separated from the women and children. I was ordered to lock the women and the children inside the church. I want to confess my guilt of the murder of the people of this town on June 9th, 1944. I wish to be placed under arrest and put on trial. I want to be charged with these crimes.
I see. May I ask, why didn't you come back to Lascaux after the war ended and make your confession?
I knew nothing of these massacres till yesterday.
How can that be? You just said you were there when it took place.
When they had put the women and children inside the church, we were taken away in trucks and sent back to camp. A few hours later, we were transferred north, where the Americans had invaded Normandy.
So you didn't know why you were locking them up in the church?
To keep them out of the way until the men were dealt with.
You mean shot?
No.
Then what did dealt with mean?
Sent off to labor camps, I thought.
So, nobody told you they were to be executed as a reprisal for the killing of 2 German officers?
No, that's not relevant. When I came here yesterday, after I've seen what has happened here, I can't live with this. So you will now call the police. Here you began your career in politics by creating a monument to this massacre.
Yes, I did.
And that one day soon, perhaps, you may even run for the presidency of the Republic.
Well, who knows?
President of France. And it all began when you stood up and said, we must tell the world. We must never forget what happened here. Souviens-toi. Why did you bring me here? To make amends. You were right last night. My reputation started upon a plea to remember, and my future depends upon a plea to forget.
You had no right to that. I put it up. I can take it down. Let us not talk about the past anymore, my friend. It is another country. I see you're still troubled.
You may have satisfied your conscience, not mine.
I'm going to tell you something no one knows, not even my wife. I come rarely to Lascaux. Why? Because these ruins, this plaque, give me a feeling of profound sorrow, of course. I grieve because they remind me that my entire career was built upon a deceit. Lascaux was wiped out because 2 German SS officers were shot.
I know. I was there, in the cafe where it happened.
So was I.
You was a man on the cart.
The killings were my idea. I wanted so much to prove myself. I planned them and I carried them out. So, because a young boy of 18 wanted to show that he was a man, everybody I grew up with, everybody I loved, a mother, an aunt, a sister I adored, everyone was murdered. Luckily, nobody discovered I was involved. After the war, I suggested that these ruins became a monument to those who died. And finally, I achieved my ambition. I became a hero. The blame for what happened here, Herr Kestner, is mine, not yours. An hour after you and the soldiers left, a squad of SS arrived. Then I heard shots, long bursts of machine gun fire. Later there were several explosions, and after that, I saw smoke rising from the church. When the SS left, I came into the town. Nothing moved. I remember that terrible silence. It was then that I realized what I had done, and I was the only one left alive. My sister lived in that house. Your sister. Dear Jenny, she was my life. It'll be a fine day tomorrow. I prefer to fight my battles in sunshine.
Do you have something to fight them with?
Oh, I will have a speech. You will be there, Mr. Root.
Try and keep you away, sir.
Lorient!
Véronique, il faut appeler du secours.
Alle Einwohner sollen sich um Punkt 2 Uhr hier versammeln. Alle Männer, alle Frauen, alle Kinder, ohne Ausnahme. Seien Sie bitte höflich und korrekt zu ihnen und vergewissern Sie ihnen, dass keine Aufregung ist.
De nos amours, que reste-t-il de ces beaux jours? Une photo, vieille photo de ma jeunesse. Que reste-t-il des billets doux, des mois d'avril, des rendez-vous? Un souvenir qui me poursuit sans cesse.